Hello, I am back today to talk about something that might be of interest to people who are contemplating a move to Australia or who have made the move and just might find it funny to reflect on some of the things that we find as Brits quite a culture shock moving over to Australia. Newsflash, Australia is not a hot UK. 100% that is not the case. So you might think that it is, you know, full of Brits and it's just going to be sunshine. Definitely not. So I thought I would share, after 6 months of living in Adelaide, some of the major culture shocks I found from moving across the other side of the world, Glasgow in Scotland, to here. And I have quite a number of them. So I'm going to kick off with the definitive culture shock that I have felt since moving here is 100% driving. So the driving is essentially the biggest shock. Now you may ask yourself, why is that, since we drive on the same side of the road as in the UK, the left? Well, let me tell you. The very first thing I noticed was that they've just got rid of the amber light, totally dinghied it. So it goes green, orange, yep, slow down, red, stop. And then it just goes red to green. And so everyone's like, boom, and you get the shock of your life in that moment when you're waiting for the orange, green, ping. Parking, so it's actually illegal to park in the opposite direction of the way of the traffic. If you're on the left side, everybody parks this way. Does this make sense? And if you're on the right side, everybody parks this way. Illegal. Doesn't really class me as being a dangerous parking, like in different directions, but there's no MOT, but there is something called rego. So you think, yes, no MOTs, and then you're like, oh shit, rego. Costs a fortune. Let's just get on to talking about the drivers. The drivers. I've heard mixed things about Adelaide drivers comparatively to other drivers in Australia. It's so weird because people from Adelaide are very nice people. Kind, lovely, chatty. I mean, you obviously get the odd weirdo, which you do anywhere. But broadly speaking, really nice folk. In the car though, get behind that wheel, different kettle of fish. Gesticulation, like going crazy, like all you hear all the time is horns, like bam, bam, bam. I don't know, maybe it's been too close to countries where they do that sort of stuff and driving's mad. So you can literally sit indicating for 25 minutes and no one will let you in. And in fact, they'll like practically butt up against the car in front just to make sure that you can't squeeze in. I let someone in. Do they acknowledge it? Do they wave? Do they flash their lights? Do they put their wee hazards on for a couple of seconds? No. And then there's lane discipline. There may as well be no lines painted on the road. The speed limits are so low. You've got a 3-lane road and you're having to go the equivalent of 45 miles an hour. Guys, come on. Driving. I actually had a bike for 3 months because the driving was so bad. Also couldn't afford a car. Not a shocker. Money. The cost of things. Particularly things you would not expect to pay a lot of money for. £2, small bottle of water. Like £4.50 for a small can of dry shampoo. So needless to say, I've started washing my hair a little bit more often. Alcohol. You need like a month's mortgage payment to buy a bloody bottle of vodka. Electricity is expensive, gas is expensive, rent is expensive, clothes are expensive, which is kind of galling considering how shit the shops are. If you live in a major city in the UK, never take for granted how amazing the high street is. I mean, Topshop, H&M, Miss Selfridge, River Island, New Look, House of Fraser, Urban Outfitters, Zara. The list is endless, but the fashion's just different. I've walked into many shops and walked straight back out again. Not quite as up to date, very difficult, and you just need to deal with that now. And clothes are very expensive, a general rule, especially shoes. Not sure why that is. Also not a surprise, and if I had been any good at geography I would have known this, but man alive, you're really far from anywhere else when you live over here. Even getting to some of the other cities in Australia is like 5 hours. Kind of overwhelming if you actually think about how much land and sea surrounds the land. Very far from anywhere else. Going back to the UK, it takes me door to door about 26 hours. Okay, let's talk about food, my favourite subject. Chocolate. So chocolate tastes like shit. Why chocolate tastes absolutely rank. A lot. Cadbury's is here, but it is not Cadbury's as we know it. Not what we're used to. So I've developed an addiction to Reese's Pieces, which are imported. Okay, but back to the matter at hand, culture shocks. They don't use the 24-hour clock. So if you say, well, you wouldn't really say the 24-hour clock. I'm sure it's understood, but all of the clocks, digital clocks that you get, it just goes 1 to 12 and then back again 1 to 12. Sometimes it has PM, AM, but sometimes it doesn't. You must just have to look outside and see if it's light or dark to know which one it is. Yeah, nah means no, and nah, yeah means yes. Good one. Too easy is not an insult if someone says that to you. Too easy. And we as Brits might be inclined to think that they're insulting us by indicating that we are simpletons. However, it's not. It's a term of endearment. And that links well into spelling. So basically in Australia, they've decided to cherry pick things from America and the UK that they want to use. Program without an ME at the end told me that it was going to be cold in the winter. And I stupidly thought, cold? Give me a break. More fool me. 80 cold. And like 8 degrees here feels like 3 or 4 degrees in Scotland. I don't know. God, the winter has been so cold that I have a whole basket of woolly hats and scarves and gloves, and I sit in my house with all of those on because we cannot afford to run air conditioning as heating 24. To me, oh my god, it's so hot, you're gonna be so lucky. Post on things that I love about this place, but if I was going to say something about the weather, I would say that it is beautiful most of the time. Because it really, height of winter, there have been some hot days, there has been lots of sunshine, we've managed to go to the beach, of other things that are a bit strange. Internet banking is way behind, like Wi-Fi not as strong, mobile phone signal pretty up and down sometimes. Thing is form-based, paper-based. It's just not as electronically savvy as I'm used to. Bin bags, cat litter, or a bag of apples at 2 in the morning, then we could do that. We could nip out and 3 miles down the road we would have 24-hour Asda. Definitely 6. Late night shopping is till 9 on a Friday in town and on a Thursday everywhere else. Another thing that is been strange is the petrol. Petrol, it can be 99 cents a litre, and the next week it can be $1.32. And then to do your taxes every year, it can be good because a lot of people do get money back, which is nice. Completely different bird over here, and I really meant tattooed on my back because I love them. I love the majestic look of them. I know they are crazy serial killers of their own babies, but I still love magpies. Oh, they're so cute. Even the colour of them, that iridescent blue that comes through in their feathers, so beautiful. Here, they're like scrawny little sparrowy things. They're not magpies. Oh, so that was a bit. I guess the final thing for now, I mean, I could go on. The list is endless. It's not what you know in Adelaide, it's who you know. And I thought that was an exaggeration, but it genuinely is not. You'll get to find out everything and get ahead in life if you know the right person. And that is mainly because people are genuinely lovely to each other if they know you. Not so much strangers, but, and I don't mean they're horrible to strangers because they were not horrible to me, but when people get to know you, they will bend over backwards to help you, which I think is amazing. But they are blunt. Like, if they want to say something to you, there is no sort of pussyfooting around. It's just straight to the point, like, nah, yeah, nah. If they don't like your new hairdo, they'll tell you. If they think that you've made a mistake, they will tell you. If they want to disagree with something that you're saying, then that is what they will do, irrespective of if it's maybe not worth the hassle or might upset your feelings. They'll just go for it, which I have to admire in a way, but I'm still not there yet. Just can't do it. Just can't put myself out there like that. One of my biggest culture shocks since moving to Australia. There are many more, and I would love to hear yours. So if you're thinking about moving here, do not let this put you off, because I may have said all of those things, and yes, it is a culture shock. Everything costs more, the weather is variable, people can be strange, especially if they're behind a wheel. However, this is genuinely one of the best places I've ever been to. It's in the heels of Glasgow as my favourite city. Not too shabby at all. And whilst it has taken a few months to get settled in and things are still surprising us, we bloody love it. And if you have nothing really not to love, and nowhere is perfect. So around a little with the things that have been a bit unusual to me coming from the UK, but at the same time I wouldn't change it for a second. So, well, please do tell me the culture shocks that you've experienced since arriving in Australia. I'm really interested if there are differences between the cities in particular. So drop any comments in the box below and make sure you subscribe, because I am hoping to post one of these videos a week. Talking. That's enough from me. It's Friday and I'm about to add some rum to this Diet Coke.